Hello, welcome back to Vitality Fitness. We're going to continue on with the boxing basics, and today we're going to be covering footwork because it's so much more important than people assume. You think punching and boxing is all hands, but you cannot do this without moving the feet in all manner of different ways. So we're going to cover a few different stances, and then also a couple of drills to promote how we move on our feet and how moving on our feet can enable us to punch better as we move. Because like the best boxers in the world, they don't get hit because they are moving all the time. So that's what we're going to cover today. So we've covered jabs and straights, hooks, uppercuts. Today is foot movement. So let's get started. I covered it in the first video, but let's have a look again. We have two stances, two traditional stances in boxing. You have orthodox, left hand forward, right hand back, or you have southpaw, right hand forward, left hand back, okay? Those are very fitting to the world being mostly right-handed, so you'll come across a lot more orthodox fighters with their right hand to the back. And then obviously we have left-handers, and usually keep the left hand at the back for an orthodox. You want that power shot at the back. Usually in the advanced we can look more at stance switches and then utilizing the power hand at the front too. But basically you need to have your dancing shoes on. When one foot moves, the other supports, okay? You've seen that in the straights here. You've seen it in the hooks. So I can twist my front foot for the hook, I have to put my weight on my back foot, and the opposite. And with uppercuts especially if you come in and push up, and roll in, come back, step in, push up. Okay, so footwork isn't just about how you move around the ring, it's also about how you move into and away from punches. Okay, we need to maintain good footwork, we need not to be flat-footed. You never really need to be flat-footed in boxing. So, this is why we're always on our toes, this is why we're always boxing and so on. So you wanna be able to move from your toes, back and forth, back and forth. So jab forward, come back, straight. Okay, so no flat feet. And with that, what we're going to work on today is going forward and coming back with punches. So going forward with the jab, coming back with the two. And that will also help you maintain a level of distance management. And that's something you can figure out. For me, I'm a short dude with very short arms. My reach is awful, kind of like a T-Rex. So I have to make sure I'm hopping in to get there and coming back to duck out of the way or slip to hit the counters, okay? Longer reach, longer arms, your distance management is naturally going to be better, but what you can find is their footwork might be poorer because they don't have to use it as much. So let's jump into the drills. First drill is a step in jab. All that means is, here's your straight jab, the step in, we're coming through. So you push off the back foot, land in the front as you hit the jab, okay? So step in jab, step back, step in jab, step back. Okay, 1 minute. Let's go. Step in. So you're switching the weight. Once you've pushed off the back foot, most of the weight's coming to the front for you to push straight back. So it's like a rebound. Once you've hit to the chin, you're back. 10 seconds. Time. Okay, so you can get the feel for a step in jab, okay? Super important to close distance as a short fighter. Now, It's the step in, 1, 2. So we have a different beat here. The rhythm of our step in is slightly different. We're bounding back on the jab, 1, back. With the step in, 1, 2, we want to head in with the jab, stay there for a sec to throw the 2, and then you pop back. As you recoil the 2, that's what can bring you back to your standard stance, okay? So just think, here's your 1, and back, 1, 2, back. Take that extra beat, and don't go ultimate punch like hot rod, okay? Bam, bam, back. Let's go, 1 minute. Always take your time in learning this, because a lot of training, modern training, as it's becoming more and more accessible, YouTube, there's less and less, I see less and less insistence being put upon the technique of the thing rather than the doing of the thing. I.e., this hyperactivity. Slow it down, take your time, feel each and every punch. Feel it going out, feel it coming back, and reset. Okay? So take that time, you've learned it. And it's the only way you're going to become a better fighter, a better boxer, whatever you're doing this for. 10 seconds. Time. Okay, good. Now, after doing the step in, so as you throw the punch, you fall forward, catch yourself in the front foot, push back with the front foot. Now we're going to do the step back, okay? So, rather than pushing forward with the front, we're going to push back. Sorry, rather than pushing forward with the back, we're going to push back with the front. You can see that's a little confusing. So, my jab is usually here. If I'm doing a step back jab, I'm going to lean my shoulders back slightly, give myself the reach, what reach I can, and I push back at the same time. So these front toes, this footwork is so important in feeling how much weight you're bearing on either foot, either leg. And with this one, you're going to lean in, I'd say 70% of my weight's on here, and as I come back, I'm just pouncing back like a cat. Bam. Okay? So my weight, most of my weight, I'd say 70 to 80 is landing on that back leg. So, step back jab. Okay? So we'll try step back jab and then a step back straight. We'll get onto that. Okay? So 1 minute. Feel it out. This is going to feel very awkward at first probably, but I think it's good to set up footwork right at the basics because it is a basic. And often than not, you build up bad habits on learning how to punch static and then no one can move around the ring, okay? So, step back jab, on your toes, 1 minute, let's go. So it comes out, you want to time this correctly with usually your opponent stepping in for their own jab or their own 2 especially. They step through with the 2 like this and you just bop them as you come back and you're at safe distance as well. So it's a little pounce and it's a beautiful maneuver. I think can really set you apart. And as long as you trust your footwork and you trust where you can land your weight, there's no real risk in this. Might look risky, might look like you can trip, but I mean, it's up to you not to, right? 10 seconds. Time. Okay, good. So that was the step back jab. Now we'll try a step back straight. Some people call this the counter straight. which it can be. But for now, let's just call it the step back, not to bring in any more motivations behind this, because this can be a little difficult. You're still going to press back on your front toes to come here, but as you do, you've got to twist the top half of your body kind of opposite to the front half. So let me show you. I'm still pushing straight back, but my shoulders are twisting at that same time to hit that jab. This is going to take practice, and this is what we're here for, okay? So, feel your weight in here, push back, and twist the top torso. This is where all those Russian twists and obliques came in. This should be it. You're kind of, it's like what's it called, a gyrosphere. One motion is making the other motion. So if you do it at the same time, it's so fast and very powerful, and again, beautiful for them coming in. Let's give it a go. So pushing off those front toes, watching that straight, go all the way through the middle. Envision, always envision. See that person stepping forward, or just see yourself getting out of the way of a shot, being able to throw your own. In front. So, twisting that shoulder as you come back. Excuse the screeching. I do have a rug, but it's under the bed because I'm slipping everywhere. This really is about timing and that explosivity of that moment you decide to pounce back. That moment. 10 seconds. Time. Okay, good, good. So we've got step in jab, step in straight, step back jab, step back straight. Now, let's try, the footwork here is going to be switching stance. This isn't so much about switching and staying in stance. This is just about the motion of being able to twist back and feel comfortable again, okay? We will get to switch stance fighting much later on. But for now, we are going to 1, 5, switch stance, reset. 1, 5, switch stance. Okay? Doing this enough, you'll realize that your torso is working hard to always stabilize how you were punching. And switching your stance can really, I would say, help you understand how you throw punches, especially twisting or looping punches. Okay? So let's give it a go. 1, 5, jab, uppercut, switch. 1 minute. Find your own rhythm. And I really want to see those hips twist, okay? None of this. Switch stance entirely. Whew. 10 seconds. Time. Good. Okay, so we've done that switch stance from the 1 to the 5. Now we're going to try 2, 6, so the opposite. Straight right, short left hook, switch, okay? Once you come back to your normal stance, you'll feel slightly different in throwing the opposite arm compared to what you just did now. You'll feel it out, but after switching fast, you'll feel, okay, maybe I have to take an extra little beat to throw the straight and then pull in the short uppercut, okay? We'll feel it out. So 1 minute, 2, 5, switch, switch. Let's go. You're landing on your toes every time. Seconds. Time. Okay, good. Last round. You'll have to excuse me. I've run this morning up a snowy hill and all around the snowy forest. Then I did an hour's boxing training session. Now, this is doing my job, but I am feeling the sweat was already profuse. And it continues. I don't know where it comes from. But one last round. This now is freestyle shadow boxing, working on movement, okay? So we've got 1 minute. This is where you experiment, okay? So experiment with the moving forward, with the moving back. You can switch. Pivots will come, pivots like this. We are going to cover in intermediate boxing sessions. But for now, switch stance, come forward, yeah? 1 minute, let's go. Ten seconds. Time. Okay, good. That is a little introduction, let's say, to footwork. As with every martial art, when you scratch the surface, you might think, wow, this is pretty simplistic, but you realize there's oceans of depth behind these smaller techniques, all of which take practice and dedication and trial and error. But you will get there. But to start, I think these are some solid traditional drills to get you moving, just moving yourself. The more you're going to move yourself, the more you're going to feel it's easier to move whilst punching and thinking about throwing and moving at the same time, which can be devastating in the ring. So, fast feet lead to faster hands. The feet keep you away from danger and help deliver it by knowing when to tiptoe slide away, roll, hop in, or switch stance, okay? So, always stay on your toes and understand how your weight is distributed. Thank you for watching. See you in the next session, which is head movement.